Hello, class. I find project management to be an underappreciated topic. Too many people think that projects can succeed by buying a piece of software, appointing a technical person, and creating a project team. Would you believe that almost two-thirds of projects don't meet their original objectives as defined by cost, performance, and schedule? This is because so many projects lack a formal project management approach. All projects have a beginning, middle, and an end. Keep these four phases of a project in mind for this lecture: project definition, project planning, project implementation, and project completion. The best projects benefit from breakthrough thinking. This type of thinking creates a novel solution to a problem. The beginnings of personal computers are an example. Executives knew they could build them, but couldn't imagine why anyone would want to use a computer at home. Fortunately, someone applied breakthrough thinking, otherwise you wouldn't be able to take this course online. A few years ago, my wife and I grew tired of seeing a barren corner in our backyard. We used breakthrough thinking and came up with the ideas of a gazebo, a waterfall, a kids' playhouse, a greenhouse, a fountain, and a small putting green. We selected the waterfall and enjoyed its tranquility for many years. During the definition phase, it's fine to let your imagination run wild. The way you define your project sets the stage for the next three phases. Before we go too far, let's come up with a definition for a project. I love Joseph Joran's definition. A project is a problem scheduled for solution. Robert Wasaki offers this more formal definition. A project is a sequence of unique, complex, and connected activities having one goal, and that must be completed by a specific time, within budget, and according to specifications. Projects exist for two reasons: either to bring something into existence or to improve something that already exists. During the definition phase, don't be concerned how you accomplish an objective or satisfy a need. If you do this, you're likely to short-circuit breakthrough thinking and select a premature solution. Set aside time to identify and discuss all feasible alternatives. This will help you make the best choice. In addition to picking project objectives, how you'll solve a problem or create something that doesn't exist, you'll run into constraints during the definition phase. Make sure to identify the limiting factor, which is the showstopper of all constraints. It is the element that restricts performance. For example, if your project is to build an observation tower in the desert, land that the government owns is off limits. The project manager, project team, and key stakeholders must participate in the definition phase. In addition to setting objectives, make sure to discuss the project deadline, performance measurements, key milestones, project manager authority, and project scope. Present a phase one project review to stakeholders and management for the review and approval. Once you obtain this, you're ready for the planning phase. In the planning phase, you take what you completed in the definition phase and expand it. You identify tasks, refine milestones, define resource requirements, and establish budgets. Of primary importance is your project strategy, how you meet milestones and achieve your overall project objectives. You also select and organize your project team in this phase and begin training and team building. To bring the right people together, the project manager must clearly understand all project requirements and, importantly, recruit and obtain suitable team members. Other activities included in the planning phase are the following: creation of team rules, policies and procedures, schedule of project meetings, assignment of tasks, and development of contingency plans. Hopefully, you'll never have to use a contingency plan. Hold it in reserve in case things don't go as planned and you need a backup plan. You may need to use your contingency plan to smash a dastardly project foe called scope creep. For just about all projects, stakeholders desire just a little bit more or want something slightly different, which causes a project to creep or go outside its original boundaries. When this happens, you sometimes need to go back to the drawing board and come up with a new plan. The best case is to accommodate an enlarged scope by making adjustments that don't impact any project in your company. You can also tell a customer what their increased cost will be because of scope creep. Many times they'll tell you, never mind. After you complete the planning phase and everything looks good, it's time to take a deep breath and move on to the daunting part, project implementation. The implementation phase is quite familiar to most of us. It's because it's what we do best, doing the work. Most people think of implementation when you mention the word project. It's unfortunate that too many people view the definition in planning phases as inconveniences. Lack of following a good project plan is certainly a major reason for project delays and failures. Project implementation should begin with a first small step. I recommend that you follow the Plan, Do, Check, Act, or PDCA method. Make sure to take a moment and research the PDCA method on the internet, as it will serve you well. Projects vary in how long they take to implement. Overall, implementation time is affected by top management support, role definition and authority for the project manager, capability of the project team, how well the project plan is followed, stakeholder communication, and scope control. At some point, you'll move from the implementation phase to the completion phase. Even more so than the project definition and planning phases, a project manager and project team may neglect the closure phase. There are at least 3 reasons for this. First, no one knows when the project will finish because the project objectives are vague. Second, project team members are uncertain about their next assignment, so they just drag the project on and on. And third, the project is not essential and is habitually behind schedule. There's not much effort to get back on schedule or to finish. In this final phase, you finish the unique endeavor you started weeks or months ago and deliver what the customer has been waiting for. But hold on, you're not done yet. The part of the completion phase that many people omit is project closure. The intent of closure is to determine what was done well, the lessons learned, and also identify opportunities for improvement. Companies skip closure because team members need to move on to their next assignment, or they may not be open to honest feedback. They may have enjoyed the post-project celebration and the slaps on the back, but they don't want to hear criticism. A way to assure that project closure takes place is to include it in your project plan. In addition to closure, include these activities as part of your project completion. Make sure that your customer is satisfied. You may need to make minor modifications to completely satisfy your customer. Generate final reports and assemble other documents that you need to distribute or place in your project notebook. File essential project documents such as plans, specifications, blueprints, technical drawings, and computer files. And then make sure to celebrate and recognize project team members. The timing of these completion activities is critical. Try and perform them as soon as possible after you conclude the project. Let's keep moving and discuss two subjects that are different sides of the same coin and are examples of project management jargon: deliverables and stakeholders.